Hello and welcome to another video here. My name is Josh. This is Tarot with Josh. And if you wanted to get a little message from Spirit today, then this is going to be your reading. We're going to do a little pick a pile here. So, real quick, we got three piles here to choose from. For pile number one, we have this power card. We're using this Imperial Dragon Oracle to pick our piles here. So, decide based off of the dragons. And then for pile number two, we got the adversity card here. Kind of hard, not the best quality camera. I'm sorry, kind of hard to read the thing, but just try and feel into it. Really, really take this opportunity to feel into it. What feels right for you. Then for pile number three, we got the Magus card here. Yeah, very cool stuff. So if you want to take a look at each of these cards here, take a moment, see which one resonates with you the most. Maybe take a deep breath or so. And yeah, quick disclaimer, these readings are timeless, and this is, take what resonates and leave the rest. If I'm talking about something and it really doesn't feel like it applies to you, then go ahead and you can either pick another pile, or you can go and watch another one of my videos, another video in general, or just move on with your day, do something else. It's really up to you. And yeah, you absolutely don't have to, please don't force this to fit or make it fit for you. Yeah, absolutely. And then, yeah, um, let's just hop right in then. All right. Hello, pile number one. If you chose this power card here, then this is going to be your reading. Now, first of all, this is just a cool looking card. We got this nice red dragon here, kind of holding this scepter and the scepter and the sphere here. And the sphere is kind of like lording over it. So maybe there's a little bit of like holding on to that power, or maybe you're just feeling like you're gaining some of your own power back, and you're feeling a little protective of it because maybe you're somebody who hasn't exactly felt that power very much in your life, or have had a lot of dealings with people who have taken that power away from you here. Excuse me, just wanted to remove stuff from my pockets real quick, really settle in here. Real quick, I do want to take a look at what it says in our little booklet for the Imperial Dragon Oracle here. Because I got some really great things here. Let's see. So for the power card, it says the power dragon stands as both leader and protector. He holds a golden ball as a sign of his authority, and a lance as a sign of his power. Fearlessly, he stands and calls us into battle. So kind of the energy of like lording over the ball kind of ties into that, lording over your own authority. Maybe you're really standing up for yourself and really like standing on business, really like taking care of yourself and not taking anyone's shit anymore. I really love that energy for you. That's pretty awesome. Fearlessly, he stands and calls us into battle, motivating us to achieve greatness beyond our imaginings. He have faith that everything is happening exactly as it is meant to happen, and that you have the will to be able to see things through to a positive conclusion. Very awesome. Very cool. Kind of a little bit of a reminder of the reminder that we have the power within us to see things through to a positive conclusion. Love that for us. That's really awesome stuff here. Now, this does tie into the major arcana for the Rider Waite Tarot as well here, because this is supposed to be the Emperor card from there. So if you know anything about tarot, you know about the Emperor. Maybe you're kind of just really standing in your Emperor timeline right now. You're really feeling into that Emperor energy and really standing on business, which is really cool stuff. So let's get into what we got next for us. The next couple cards we got here. Well, the next card we got is from the Getting into the Vortex deck. Uh, This is a really cool deck. If you know anything about Esther or Jerry Hicks or Abraham Hicks, you might kind of start to understand the concepts that we're talking about here. Really, what they talk about is the whole law of attraction thing, stepping into your own vortex, which is your alignment with source, which is how you can manifest things easier and live a less live a less abrasive life, basically live an easier life, by stepping into this vortex and call the things that you want in a little easier. So let's just see what this card says here. So what we got is the thoughts I think determine the relationship I attract. So I think this is very much like maybe you've kind of you've given away a lot of your power in the past. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this reading so far. So maybe you're really realizing that the reasons you've been attracting these relationships that have taken your power or that you've given your power away is that exact thing. Is like not that these relationships have been taking your power away, it's that you've been giving your power away to these relationships and to these people who you felt maybe either deserved it or whatever it was. But really, you're starting to realize that no, I am in control of my own power. This is my power. You're taking back your power now, and you're starting to really rewrite the thoughts that you think, um, to like reframe sort of the relationships that you're going to be attracting here, which is a really cool energy to step into. Let's read what it says on the back here. It's got a little blurb thing. So read what it says. It says, not only does the power of your thought determine which people make their way into your life, but it determines how they behave once they get there. You are the thinking, vibrating attractor of your experience, and the thoughts you think determine everything about life that you live. As you turn your attention toward the positive aspects of the personalities and behaviors of others with whom you share your planet, you will train your point of attraction in the direction of only what you desire. So yeah, you're maybe seeing how maybe your own thoughts have determined really or have played a role in the way that the people have interacted with you, the way that you've interacted with other people, and you're really starting to reframe that stuff and shift out of that and see things in a little bit different of a light and tell yourself things in a little bit different of a light, kind of rewire our own little subconscious thoughts there in order to really align ourselves with the what we truly desire. And the more that we do this, we're gonna step into more of that point of attraction and step into that direction of what we desire, which is really cool stuff. Cool. So we also have a crystal healing card here, but we're going to get into that at the end because it'll give us a little healing that we can do at the end to do this. So let's just jump right into the tarot here. So you can kind of think about, put your energy into the cards here, and we'll see what comes out for us. If we get any more messages from Spirit here. I fell on the floor. We're immediately getting some stuff jumping out at us, which is great. Oh my goodness. So many things going to the floor here. This was kind of maybe in reverse. Let's see what we got here. We're just going to set it there. And let's see, anything else, Spirit? Anything else for pile number 1 here? Do a little bit more here, see if we get anything else popping out. Lots of wands energy so far. What are you? Ah, very interesting. And, okay. So cool. I think that's going to be good for us for now. We got a lot of stuff here. So, what I'm seeing here so far, we started off with, we got the Hierophant here, which is a great little card to get. Kind of that masculine, sage energy here. Really like wise stuff. And we also got the Two of Cups that came out here. always a very good card. Talks about like relationships and stuff. So maybe like as you are reframing your mind in this way, in the way that you think, kind of your perception, you're seeing a bit more of this Two of Cups energy in all the relationships in your life. Or maybe this is going to help you attract in. Maybe you're trying to attract in a love or something of that nature, love or a really good friend or something like that. So that will really help you do that. And it seems like this Hierophant's kind of coming in to help you do that as well. You're kind of really stepping into this like Emperor Hierophant energy where you're like really standing in your power and you're like you've wised up to the way that things kind of work and even if you felt like you had things understood in the past, you're kind of realizing that the more you know, the less you know, and the the more what your thoughts really like. I think this is just kind of speaking to what we've already been speaking about with the energy of like your thoughts really reflecting everything, and I think the Hierophant's kind of coming through to as a little bit of a confirmation for that here. And then we also got the Five of Wands here, which I'm really getting like this fighting energy with like wands are very much that spiritual energy. So maybe there's been a little bit of like spiritual fighting or like kind of maybe you've kind of been fighting in your head with certain things as well here, but it's not so much swords energy here. It's more so um, like energies have been kind of biting with you is what I'm getting. But then I'm seeing you come out on top as this King of Wands. You're really starting to master um, your own energy, the way that you interact with other people, kind of the energy that you put out there. You're really starting to master this energy. And yeah, especially with the Six of Wands here, really feels like a victorious energy here. I mean, look at this guy. He's sitting up on that horse holding that wand. He's all proud and everything. Really feels like you're mastering this it seems like you've probably been through a pretty tough time lately, especially like energetically or mentally or spiritually, and it seems like you're really starting to come out on top with that. You're really and part of that is this reframing that you're doing with your relationships and stuff, and not only is that helping you with your current relationships, but it's also attracting in some better relationships with people who are able to truly like understand you and see you for who you are, because you're seeing you for who you are and standing up for yourself in a really cool way, which is awesome. Then we got the Nine of Cups here, which is great. It's like this like just about complete. You got all your cups sitting around you. You're feeling your emotions. You're really standing in it, and it's like maybe we've been in a bit of this Eight of Cups energy where we've had a lot, but we've really still felt like there was something missing there. Kind of longing and looking off into the distance here. Maybe then looking up at the moon, that kind of energy here. Right now, there's a full moon going on, so maybe you're kind of having an interesting time with the full moon energy. By the time this goes up, it'll be maybe a day or so after the full moon, but that energy is still kind of prevalent, and maybe this is kind of what you've been going through as well here through the full moon. But I think I'm seeing you really like standing in this Nine of Cups energy, especially as time continues on and we move into the future here. I think you're really going to be feeling a lot better about yourself here, if you aren't already. Very cool stuff. I love what we got here from the cards. So, with that, I guess we will get into our crystal healing card here. Now, each of these, this is just a deck that has a bunch of crystals on each of these cards, and they're all supposed to kind of help us with our healing journey, everything like that. And they're all tied to a different chakra in our chakra system. This one is a third eye chakra, and the crystal you got is blue sapphire. Pretty cool. See if you can kind of see that decently well there. It's a very cool crystal here. But it says it boosts. It says mental focus underneath there. So maybe there's a bit of a focus on your third eye, especially with all if you've felt like you've kind of been battling something spiritually. It's not really like mental thoughts, or maybe kind of is affecting your mental, but maybe the root of it is more so in that spiritual energy stuff going on there. So maybe a little bit of a focus on your third eye would be really nice. And if you're somebody who has this crystal, if you have this crystal at all, you might want to, sit with it, try and work with it a little bit. It might help you out, help you clean up that third eye energy right there. And if you're not, we'll get into a little bit of a healing that either you can do if you have these crystals, or if you don't have these crystals, there's still a little bit of a healing that you can do in there, and I'll get into that as we get over there. But it also says on here that the physical qualities of the blue sapphire crystal is it stimulates third eye and throat chakras, eliminates negative energies from one's aura, and supports good health and well-being, eases insomnia, nightmares, sleep apnea, and other sleep problems, calms overactivity in the body, and provides protection. Really cool crystal here. Love that. And then we also got the emotional qualities brings serenity, generosity, optimism, and confidence. Helps resolve conflicts, supports healing from depression, alleviates mental and emotional blockages, encourages free expression and loyalty, increases psychic vision and ESP. So if that's something you want to get into, you want to kind of unlock that third eye a little bit, maybe some blue sapphire might help you out there. Um, very nice. It says at the bottom here, I am free of all that clouds my mind. So that could be an affirmation that you can repeat to yourself here to kind of help clear that fog away and help you really work through this mental fog that's kind of going on here. Very cool. So let's see what the book says for us. It'll give us a little bit of a healing that we can do. If I can find it. There we go. Okay. So, this is about removing mental blockages. So, this seems like this is really prevalent to our reading. I mean, I like that I saved this till the end here because this is really just a big confirmation for everything that we've been talking about so far. So, that's pretty awesome. Love that. Thank you, Spirit. Cool. So, we got this reading says so if you have like a bunch of these crystals or just a bunch of crystals in general, you can actually do this healing here. But then there's also, even if you don't have these crystals and stuff, there's a bit of a visualization that you can do with this anyway, and you can kind of sit with this energy still and still get some benefits from it. Okay, so even if you don't have this, don't worry. You can sit around and listen to what we got going on. So first of all, it says surround your body with clear quartz crystals with the points facing inward. Lie down on your back and hold a sapphire or other royal blue crystals in each hand. Place a blue sapphire on your third eye and amplify its energy. Surround it with 4 equal sized clear quartz crystals, one above, one below, one on each side, touching their points to the sapphire. Place an orange crystal just above your pubic bone on your sacral chakra, the center of manifestation and creative empowerment. Close your eyes and imagine a line of energy joining the orange crystal to the blue sapphire on your third eye. Now, this is kind of where the visualization comes in and what you can do to still gain some benefits from this healing here. And what you can do is, with your eyes still closed, bring your attention to the sapphire in your third eye. Or you can just think of bring your attention to your third eye. And then imagine your breath flowing in and out of the sapphire, in and out of your third eye. It's flooding your third eye with empowering energy. Continue for 10 minutes, then, without evaluating or judging, silently ask yourself the following questions, responding with the first answer that comes to mind. What am I afraid of? What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about my mental abilities? Am I afraid of being wrong? After each answer, ask yourself, am I willing to release this judgment or fear? If I am not willing, am I willing to release it just for now? After answering, return your focus to your third eye and again breathe in the sapphire's royal blue light, letting it fill you with its empowering energy. You can kind of just visualize this royal blue light kind of washing in or filling in your third eye in that way. And that's how you can kind of sit with this energy still, is think of that royal blue light. If you're a visual person, if you can't imagine something like that, then you can just kind of try to feel the energy yourself or whatever works for you. I'm not that kind of person. I very much am a visual person in here, so I have no idea how to help you there. I'm so sorry. um, but yeah, I'm sure you can figure it out. Awesome. Sounds very cool. Very good stuff. I want to do this. Sounds really great, especially those questions. I want to read those again, especially just in case you just want to sit in meditation and ask yourself these questions. We got, what am I afraid of? What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about my mental abilities? And am I afraid of being wrong? I think that last one too is a big one. Like, am I afraid of being wrong? I mean, I know what my answer is there. Especially sitting here doing these readings and stuff, like, I'm afraid of being wrong, you know? But I think that's kind of, you can have your own journey with that. I won't tell you what to do on that one. Um, yeah, very cool. Very powerful healing that you can do there. Love that. I really actually want to sit and do this one. So, very awesome stuff here. Cool. I think that is all I have for you, Pile One. So thank you so much for watching. And if you got something out of this reading, if this is, I mean, this feels like this is more of a confirmation rather than something you can do, other than that healing at the end there. But yeah, hopefully you got something out of this. Maybe even if it's just some validation. And if you did, you can go ahead and leave a like down below. If you want to share your experience at all, maybe. Provide some words of encouragement to somebody else who may be going through the same things you are, you can drop that down in the comment section below as well. And if you want to join me for this journey or be notified of any future uploads I have, you can subscribe and turn that notification bell on down below as well. And yeah, I love you so much. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. All right. Bye. All right. Hello, pile number two. If you chose this adversity card here, then this is your pile. This is your reading. Pile reading. Same difference. Yeah. So right away with this adversity card, I believe this is in alignment with the chariot card from the normal tarot deck, the major arcana, if you're familiar with that at all. But that chariot really talks about like fast moving energy. It's a fast moving energy, and it's about like kind of pushing forward or moving things in, or maybe there's something coming in really quickly for you, or something like that. Or maybe you are about to step in this quicker moving energy here. So maybe you've been resting quite a bit, or been feeling called to rest quite a bit, or are feeling called to rest right now. Maybe that's for whatever this fast moving energy is about to be for you. Let's see what it says in our little booklet here. I'm using the Imperial Dragon Oracle here, and the commentary that it gives for these cards in this booklet. Very good stuff. I love it. It's always, I feel like, really sets the stage pretty well for us here. So let's see what we got. So right away it says for the energy, it says rising to meet the challenge. So maybe there's a challenge that you're finally feeling a burst of energy to rise and meet, or maybe you're really starting to feel like you can handle whatever it is. Let's see. It says there is only one constant in the universe, and that is change. In order to know things at a deeper level, we must first forget what we already think we know. Change is the energy that makes this possible. Adversity always brings with it the power of self development, for the challenging situations in life teach us the most. I think that's very good stuff there. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, especially like, yeah, with the adversity, I kind of forgot that it's called the adversity card in this, which really is calling to like maybe you're feeling like there's a lot of adversity against you. Maybe you're feeling a bit more energy to face this adversity that you're seeing in your life. I'm feeling called to read the meaning here as well. It's kind of like 3 paragraphs here. I'm going to just read the second one. It says, unfamiliar situations tempt us to revert to old patterns of behavior, which makes history repeat itself. It is only through strength of mind that we can conquer our fears and ascend to new levels of thought and self. Victory comes through consistent effort and openness to the idea of greatness. We each hold within us the power to see things through to their conclusion. Very interesting because this is feeling very similar to some of the energy that we were talking about in pile number one. So if you felt called to pile number one at all, you might want to go and check that out. You might get some things that you, especially if that last part really resonated with you. Definitely go and check out pile number one. There's probably some messages in there for you as well. So let's get into our next card here. This card is from the Getting Into the Vortex deck that I have. This is just a deck from Esther and Jerry Hicks, who are related to Abraham Hicks. If you know who those people are at all, you might know where this is going. But if you don't, then you might want to look them up, especially if what we start talking about with this card sounds interesting to you at all. They got lots of great stuff on YouTube, lots of great lectures and stuff. But really, they talk about stepping into this vortex, the law of attraction, and trying to step into that alignment with yourself or with your source. That way, you can bring in the things that you want, that you desire, easier and with less effort, and especially from other people. Anyway, so what you got here is the universal law of attraction is managing my expansion. Pretty cool looking card here as well. So let's read what it says on the back here. It says the law of attraction is the universal manager of all vibration, which expands to everything that exists through the universe. And so, at the same time that the law of attraction is responding to the vibrational content of your physical thoughts, it is also responding to the vibrational content of your inner being. Very cool, very interesting. Kind of I'm feeling like you maybe aren't super familiar with Esther and Jerry Hicks or these concepts in general. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of like just adversity in your life in general, and maybe taking some time and looking them up if you feel called to look them up and watch some of their lectures and stuff. There's some really cool stuff that they talk about in there for sure. But yeah, I mean, the law of attraction really is like this because I mean, when you're talking about the law of attraction, a lot of people do tend to talk about the actual thoughts that you're thinking and how the thoughts that you like, what you think comes into your reality. And yes, that is true to a certain extent, but it's also how your inner being is and the vibrational content of your inner being as well. And that's kind of a little bit on the subconscious level. And that's where the thoughts really come in. Because if you can rewrite your subconscious to be more in alignment with yourself and what you truly desire within, then you can kind of bring everything into that alignment, that merging of everything to really to kind of rapidly expand your own growth and your own point of attraction. Very cool card. So we also have a crystal healing card, but we'll get into that at the end here because it's going to give us a little healing that we can do. So what I want to do right now is pull some tarot cards. So what you can do is you can kind of send your energy into the tarot deck here. Just intend that whatever messages you need to hear right now will come through the tarot. And yep, we'll see what we got here. Okay. Lots coming through. Oh my goodness. So much coming through. Lots of cool stuff too. Very good energy. Let's see, anything else? Spirit. Anything else? Let's see. That one wanted to come out. Interesting. Okay, I think that's going to be good for now. All right, so what we got here is we got the sun, which is always really good energy to come out. The sun is like it's that life force energy. It's that bright energy of like it's light, it's fun, it's good. It's like there's lots of good things coming your way. All that kind of stuff. We also have the Knight of Pentacles here. which seems very cool. I'm just going to tell you what we got. We got the Artist in Reverse, which is a unique card to this deck that I'm using. We'll get into that in a moment. We got the Ace of Cups here. We got the Magician as well. And we got the Five of Cups in Reverse. So cool. Starting off with the sun here, I mean, we got that like bright sunny energy. The sun is literally the life force energy. The sun literally is the reason for life on Earth, and it's literally what provides the energy for everything that we see here today, right? Ultimately. Um, so, I think that this is kind of saying that, like, especially as we are dealing with whatever these challenges are, maybe these challenges are a little bit of that mental, um, like that, like getting our physical thoughts in alignment with our inner being, doing all of that work there is, kind of going to bring in that sun energy for us. And then with the Knight of Pentacles here, what I'm getting is, I mean, he's kind of like standing in this field with this tree in the background there. And it's almost like it looks like there's been a harvest here and maybe even a replanting, or maybe these seeds have just been planted. Maybe there's some seeds that you're planting right now that with some time are going to come through and really produce a great harvest for you. And maybe you have just had a harvest as well, or maybe you are harvesting whatever seeds you may have planted in the past for yourself here. Now, this is very cool stuff. I'm also really drawn to this shield here. It's got that star on there, but there's also this like decoration going on there, and there's lots of leaves. Cool little like. So maybe there's like a bit of a call just to go into nature in general here. And yeah, this star here feels significant in some way. I'm not 100% sure what way, but it feels significant. So if that maybe that's just a sign for you, something that you're used to, or something that's a sign specifically for you, and if that is, and this is maybe confirmation for you. But yeah, I would like to read what the Knight of Pentacles actually says in here, because I am still kind of learning some of this stuff, so I don't really remember what all of the meanings are immediately off the top of my head here. Let's see. So Knight of Pentacles is prepared, efficient, ambitious, and practical. So yeah, maybe you're kind of feeling very prepared for whatever adversities may find you in the future as you continue down whatever this path is for you. And that's about to pick up some speed here. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I think that Knight of Pentacles, I mean, yeah, he does look very assured of himself, and he's even got like the sun sitting behind him there. Like it looks like there's the sun sitting there. So maybe you are sitting a little bit more in this sun energy, and you're really maybe you're feeling that sun energy before necessarily seeing it in your 3D reality, and so you're able to like really you're prepared for whatever adversity may show up. Maybe you've been through a lot of stuff before here. But we got the Artist in Reverse that came out here. Now, the artist is usually talking about like creativity, stuff like that. But the reverse meaning, which I'm going to need to look up here, the reverse says unstable, judgmental, restless, or greedy. So maybe these are kind of the energies that are the adverse energies here for you. Maybe you've felt unstable a lot in the past, but maybe you're now feeling able and ready to face that instability, to turn that into some stable something, or maybe you are starting to feel stable. Maybe that's something that you're just starting to work through, which is making you prepared and ready to deal with any restless energy, any judgmental stuff coming in, anything that's greedy. I don't know, anything like that. Feels like maybe you've sat a lot in this like maybe you're a creative person, you're an artist, and you've been sitting in like you felt really blocked in your creative art and whatever it is that brings you that creative satisfaction. And maybe you're starting to be able to work through it, or maybe you've worked through so much stuff on yourself that you've come to a more stable place within yourself that you are now prepared to face these blocks that have blocked you from your creative abilities here. Um, and yeah, and that's true for you. That's super cool energy. I'm very happy for you. That's very exciting to be ready to face those blocks and like maybe not even face those blocks. I feel like maybe you're feeling like you're going to need to face these blocks, but I feel like as you step up and start stepping into this energy here, you'll find that you don't really need to work all that hard to do that. You're just gonna be able to flow into it nicely, and maybe even rediscover some beautiful things from your past that used to give you a lot of joy, and now you get to have those back in your life a little bit, which is really cool. I'm very excited for you. So yeah, and we also got the Ace of Cups here, which I think is also kind of there's a lot of really good positivity here. Um, I think in general, if I look at your spread like from a little bit of a step back, the only thing that's negative is this artist in reverse thing, and maybe that's been exactly it. Maybe um, you are feeling just these blocks, and maybe you've really like feeling great emotionally. You're feeling like the sun's really behind you. You're prepared for everything. You're even feeling like a bit of a magician, like you've been like really like alchemizing things in a really positive way, and you're feeling like you're working through things. You're bringing those ideas down from the spirit into the physical. And even this five of cups in reverse, I mean, the five of cups normally, like, this guy is crying over all these spilled cups, and then you got like this, it's in reverse. So you're no longer crying over still spilled milk. It's something bad happens, you're just like, all right, whatever, move on. And then you're not focused on those negative things anymore. And I think that's really going to help you work through whatever this block is, or maybe you're already seeing that it is helping you work through that. Very cool stuff. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yes. I mean, like, everything literally just kind of like came together a little bit in that moment, and it feels like that's kind of what's happening for you here. Is like you're starting to see everything is coming together here, and you're kind of getting that enmeshing in, and everything is working out in your favor. And it is, of course, it is. Why wouldn't it work out in your favor? Um, yeah, very cool stuff. So, what I want to do here is now take a look at our crystal healing card here. Get a little bit of a healing that we can do, especially if we're feeling a little blocked in any sort of way still. And maybe this could be a little bit of a healing that you can use to help alleviate a little bit of this energy in a little bit nicer of a way so that you maybe don't have to work so hard to do this. I mean, if you're anything like me, you're probably pretty exhausted right now and don't want to do so much hard work, right? So each of these cards, each of these crystals are in alignment with a chakra from our chakra system. This one's the crown chakra here. So maybe there's a little bit of a calling for your crown chakra. Again, if you are feeling called to pile number one, I would suggest going and looking there. I think there's a little bit of messages that kind of tie in from both here. But here, what you have is the purple jade, which is a really cool crystal. So maybe if you feel called, you might want to go and grab some purple jade, or if you have some of this, maybe you can like sit and work with it. Whatever works for you. But it says underneath here, it's the Royal Healer, which is really cool stuff. Very royal energy here, especially with the crown chakra, all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really cool energy. You must be such a cool person. If you are a pretty cool person, which I'm sure you are, you might want to leave a comment down below. I'd love to talk to you. Anyway, we also got physical qualities here. It enhances innate healing abilities, boosts physical resistance to illness, soothes tension headaches and migraines, helps calm seizures and epilepsy, works with all brain healing, eases ear aches, jaw tension, and eye problems. So, if any of that is something that you feel like you've been dealing with, this might help move some of that energy out and around for you. And we got emotional qualities here, brings deep calming, integrates mind, body, and spirit, helps resolve emotional issues, brings mutual understanding, supporting greater sensitivity to other people's emotions, and brings inner peace, harmony, humor, and spontaneous joy. So, I mean, if you have been going through a bit of like maybe this Five of Cups energy where it's been kind of rough for you, maybe it would be pretty nice to sit and work with this crystal here to kind of bring a little bit of that inner peace, harmony, humor, joy, all those good feelings into your life a little bit more. And then there's a affirmation here you can say underneath here. It says, "I am one with the divine order," which I think ties greatly into just our little getting into alignment with source and stuff here. Very cool stuff. I think this is just a big confirmation for a lot of stuff that we've been talking about here as well. Very cool, very cool. So let's take a look into the book here because this is going to provide us with a little bit of a deeper healing that we can do. If you do have this crystal, you can do this healing here. And even if you don't, there is something that you can do with this, which I'll get into as we're talking here. But there's still something you can do even if you don't have this crystal and don't have the ability to get it just yet. So what we have is says here, surround your body with alternating pieces of purple jade and moonstone, starting with a purple jade at the top, then place a purple jade on your crown chakra, another in the middle of your forehead, and another right above that. Rest a rose quartz on the heart chakra. Hold an additional purple jade in each hand. Take long. Okay, so if you have the crystal, you can do that, and then at this point, if you don't have the crystal, you can still do this like breathing exercise, kind of meditative thing, and you might still get some, and you will still get some benefits out of this. So it says, take a long, deep breaths, relaxing on every exhale and releasing all tension in your body. With every inhale, imagine the purple jade energy entering your body through your open crown chakra. So you can just visualize that energy coming in. And then you can continue this for 3 minutes, visualizing purple light entering through the middle of your forehead, flooding your entire head and forehead. Relax your chest and imagine the light flowing into your heart center. Continue this for 3 minutes. Visualize the purple jade energy descending from your head through your throat chakra to join the purple light in your heart. So all your upper chakras are glowing with purple light. Imagine the purple jade's healing energy flowing through your hands, stimulating their chakras. Once your hands feel energized, place them with the crystals anywhere on your body that requires extra healing. Imagine the purple healing light energy flowing through your entire body, especially where your hands are placed. Silently repeat these words. I am one with your divine healing light. So there you go. I think you can definitely still do this healing without these crystals if you don't have them. And I think you'll get pretty powerful one. This is a really good healing that you can do for sure. Just sit in that meditation, imagine that purple light going through your head and all that connecting down and coming in and feeling it. You know, the stuff and the things. Yeah, very cool. Very cool energy for you in general here. I'm sending you so much love and light. Sounds like you really got some things figured out here, and I'm really happy for this journey that you're going on here. I'm very excited for you. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you got something out of this, then you can and you want to share your appreciation, you can leave a like down below. That's the best and easiest way for you to do that. So, and if you want to share anything about your journey, you can leave that in the comments down below. Maybe give some words of encouragement to anybody else on this journey. I mean, we're all at slightly different points here, but we all, collaboration really is all I'm trying to get at. with that. And then if you want to continue joining me on this journey through tarot, then you can leave a subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on to be notified of any future uploads that I do. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and night whenever you're watching this. All right. Love you. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Magus card here, then this is your reading. Yeah, so let's get right into it here. And how the Magus card. This is related to a major arcana. Each of these are related to a major arcana, and this one is supposed to be the Magician from the normal Rider-Waite tarot deck. And yeah, we got this. We got the dragon sitting here on top of this cup here, which has the pentacle sitting on it right there, and we got it's holding a sword as well. And then we got kind of this tree here. It kind of feels like the wand's energy here. If you know the magician card at all, then that'll all make sense. If not, it's okay. Doesn't have to, but the magician card usually has each of the different suits on it because it's kind of this like mastery card, and you're like mastering all these elements of of this magical world that we live in. Kind of connecting all, the mental with the spirit and the body, and the physical 3D world as well, and bringing everything in from spirit and kind of bringing it in from the top and bringing it down below. I mean, the normal magician card is kind of this guy sitting with his arms up and down, kind of bringing into the things from spirit down into the 3D world. So maybe that's kind of where you're kind of feeling like really in this magical energy, like you're really starting to get it. So that's very cool. Very cool. Love it. I would like to read what it says in our little commentary book here, because the commentary on these cards is usually pretty awesome. So let's see what we got. So for the Magus, it shares. In your left hand, you hold the sword of truth that connects you to your higher self. At your feet is the cup of creativity. This symbolizes the situation where the energy you draw from your spiritual practices creates your reality. We each hold within us the power of the elements and the knowledge of how to weave them into our experiences. Very cool. Um, so the meaning is you have all the resources you need to make your reality one of beauty and joy. Seeking out the sword of truth and let it connect you to your higher self. Open your senses to a deeper appreciation of the world around you. Becoming aware of things that others fail to notice gives you the opportunity to move forward on your path with a focused mind and determination that you can overcome any obstacles that might manifest. So maybe you're kind of struggling with something and you need to be reminded or shown that you do have all the answers within yourself. You are a magical being. Each of us are magical beings, and um, we are all a little bit more magical than we've been taught to be. And I think like we all have the ability to work with these elements and kind of alchemize things in our own internal bodies and in our own energies here. Um, and yeah, the magician card's kind of coming through to tell us or remind us about that. We are these master magicians ultimately at the end of the day. So the next card I want to get into here is from the Getting Into the Vortex deck here, which is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. If you know who they are, then you might know where this is going. But if you don't, and you might know the name Abraham Hicks at all, um, if not, you might feel called to go and look them up after we talk about this. But they're all about getting into alignment with your own source and stepping into your own vortex, which is kind of how we can step into this law of attraction, manifest things a little bit easier. So the card you got here is talking about it says, I intend to see the best in everyone. So maybe that's something that you're kind of struggling with here, or maybe that's kind of an energy that you're sitting in and you're realizing is just want to see the best in everyone. I don't want to assume that this person's thinking this negative thing about me or blah 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 blah. I think maybe you've had a little bit of a epiphany moment here of like realizing that maybe the stories that I'm telling myself in my head are not exactly in alignment with what's really going on. Because maybe there's been a little bit more love in your reality than you've realized, and you're starting to see that a little bit here. But let's read what it says in the back here. It says, "You can never consistently motivate anybody to anything. But when you see the best of them and you go over to where your version of the best of them is, and you align with that and offer one signal, now you are part of the inspiration." You see? So even if you are dealing with some difficult people in your life, maybe you need like a little bit of that reminder of like, if you do see the best of them and you align with that and offer that one signal, then you're part of their inspiration to be that best version of themselves as well. Um, but I think it's important not to let yourself overgive in that as well. Just maintain yourself. You can maintain yourself and still see the best in somebody. There's kind of a duality there. I think it's very much it's very easy for us to get very either or about things, especially if there's a difficult person that we're dealing with. And I think we're all complex beings, and this is a complex world that we live in, and many things can be true at once. And I think it's all about what we focus on and what we want to put out into the world, right? If we want to see the best in others as much as possible, yet not overgive ourselves, especially if you're somebody like me who's very much gone through people pleasing wounds and stuff like that, you might. As you kind of heal through that people pleasing, you might get like a little bit of like, well, fuck everyone. I don't want to help anyone anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone just takes advantage of me. Blah, 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 blah. I think there's a bit of a call here to realize that you can stand in, uh, you can take care of yourself first and still see the best in other people, yet just not. Boundaries there are important, right? And then this also says here, have you ever had that experience yourself when someone sees you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you never shined before? And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? That is a very good point. Um, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think this is very much a call to like, remind us that wanna look for the best in other people and not focus on whatever negatives might be there. I think if you look for the best in other people and expect the best of other people, then that will bring out the best in other people as well. I mean, you can't force a horse to drink water, and if someone's going to be really, really difficult and not care about that, then you don't need that person in your life. But I think most people are going to want to strive to be better versions of themselves and want to strive to be the best version of themselves. Um, so, you can kind of help others along if you try to see the best in them and feel that. Okay, cool. So now I want to get into the tarot here. So you can kind of just focus your energy on the deck, and with the intention that any messages you need to see or hear will come through for you. Let's see, Spirit, any messages that the collective here needs to see or hear. Very interesting. The tower came out, it was upright, but it flipped to the reverse here. So maybe that's a message here of like, as you see the best in other people, it turns what might be a tower moment, or viewed as a tower moment, into something that is not actually a tower moment, or might turn that into a bit more positive of a moment for you. Very interesting. Any other messages here for the collective? Oh, interesting. Oh. So, okay, I think that's enough. What's interesting here is we did get the Magician in reverse. we also have the Magician in the upright, starting off our deck, our reading here. And I think this is kind of saying that like it really does depend on like our perception. The theme of this whole reading has been all about our perception, right? um if this is something that you're more interested in maybe looking at any of the other two piles, if you feel called to those, I would suggest going and looking at them, because this is kind of what I've been talking about throughout all these things, and it feels like that's what this collective's here at least is kind of going through, if not the greater collective in general, kind of seeing things in a different perspective. Um, and it really it, what we focus on really does create our reality here, right? If we're focused on the positive things, then we can really feel like we're this magician, whatever. But if we're focusing on the negative things, then we're gonna really feel like this magician in reverse. That's basically what creation is and co-creation is, right? Is like, if we're focused on the positive, then we're going to create the positive. If we're focused on the negative, then we're going to create the negative. And that's the law of attraction there, right? Um, so we got this Four of Pentacles here, and Four of Pentacles is kind of talking about holding on to something. Maybe there is kind of like a bit of like holding on to something that we feel like we've built, especially if we've been going through a lot of inner work here lately. Maybe we feel like we need to hold on to that, not let anyone else hurt us. But I think that this card kind of calls us to look at where we're holding on maybe a little too tightly, because if you hold on too tightly to anything, um, then that alone is just going to kind of block up the energy and stagnate things. We want to be free flowing and stuff, so we want to be willing to give as well as to receive, and kind of loosen up this energy a little bit. If you know the show Community at all, there's an incredible episode all about this giant hand that the dean of the school purchased and was going to go and sell, and they have this whole big experience, whatever. It's a great episode. I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it. But by the end of it, they talk about this idea of like, keep a loose grip on reality, and not on reality, keep a loose grip. And they talk about this idea of like, if you hold on too tightly to something, then it's gonna hurt when that thing goes, because sometimes things are just gonna go, and in life and the universe might just rip that thing out of our hands anyway, no matter how tightly we are holding on to it. But if we keep a loose grip, then things can come in and out of our hand as easily as they do, and that will allow us to not get so caught up in that. I mean, if we're not even grabbing onto anything at all, then everything that we want is just going to slip through our fingers as well. So keeping that loose grip lets things be held into our hand, but then also be pulled away when they need to be pulled away. Yeah. And then let's see. We also have the Hanged Man here in reverse. I feel like we're maybe kind of coming out of this Hanged Man energy a little bit with this idea of like keeping a loose grip on things and trying to see things in a positive way and trying to see the best in other people. I think especially with that, like, it's very easy to get caught up in like, oh well, since I am seeing the best in other people, that means that they're going to be their best version of themselves. And that's not quite what that means. It means that you're kind of seeing and expecting the best version of themselves, which means you create space for that person to step into that best version of themselves. Sometimes people aren't quite ready to step into that, and maybe they need to go on a little bit of a journey to step into that. And that's, ultimately not under our control or anything. And that's, I think, where we want to keep that loose grip is to like to allow those people to go on their journey to step into that best version of themselves. And I think still holding that space for that person or those people to become the best version of themselves is very important, especially if there's somebody. I mean, you never really know, what people have going on their end, and if people don't have too many people in their lives too, or I mean, or feel very comfortable with too many people in their lives. I mean, maybe, you're not the only person in their life, but maybe you're the only person in their life who is holding space for their best version of themselves. And that can be difficult for somebody. First of all, it can be difficult to step into that energy for oneself. Um, and also, it can be very difficult to, if no one, I mean, having just somebody there to hold that energy is very good. And but holding people to the expectation that they have to immediately be that and fill that is exactly what's going to cause a little bit more issues on them stepping into the best version of themselves. I mean, that alone is going to bring up some more blockages for that person to step into that version of themselves. And I feel like if we're holding on too tightly, we're that's where we're stepping into these Four of Wands in reverse and the Magician in reverse kind of energy. We're holding on too tightly to certain expectations of things and the way things need to see or be come through, and kind of like attaching ourselves too much to the outcome of certain things rather than detach from the outcome of things, but still hold space for people to become this best version of themselves. And that's how we can turn these reverse energies into the upright energy. And the Four of Wands in the upright is all about union and celebration and good times, good vibes, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like we can kind of move that from one to the other there, stepping into this energy. And we have the Eight of Wands here in reverse, and I don't remember what the Eight of Wands is about, so give me one moment while I look that up. So in the reverse, it's talking about frustration, delay, mistakes, and confusion. And I think the frustration and delay is exactly where we can get kind of caught up in that inability to hold space for somebody to be the best version of themselves. Because you can feel very easy to get frustrated of somebody especially if we're perceiving somebody to not quite show up in the way that we would want them to show up, but ultimately they are not going to know the way that we want them to show up unless we were to tell them the way that we want them to show up, right? And even then, it's not going to feel genuine if they just start showing up in that energy, but they didn't get there themselves. So it can be easy to feel frustrated in this energy. And I think there's definitely a call to look at where we are feeling frustrated, especially like if there is delay and mistakes, maybe kind of catch ourselves in those moments, and remind ourselves that hey, everyone's on their own journey, and maybe give ourselves and other people a little bit of grace in this. And if I'm feeling a little too frustrated with somebody else because they're not showing up in whatever positive ways that I want them to show up, then maybe I need to take a step back and deal with my own frustrations with that, so that I can sit and still hold space for that person to become that, and remind myself that this person's on a journey. They're not going to be exactly where I want them to be when I want them to be. And that means that I need to taper my expectations for somebody else. I can still hold somebody else to those expectations of like being the best version of themselves without kind of putting so much pressure on them to be that in every moment. We're human. We're not going to be perfect. Especially with the mistakes coming here for the Eight of Wands in reverse. I feel like we're all going to make mistakes, and a little bit of forgiveness goes a long way. Cool. We also have the Queen of Wands here, which talks about creativity, growth, intuition, and passionate. I think, especially if you're like really starting to feel frustrated with other people, Maybe that's a moment where you need to kind of take some time to yourself and to step into what does give you positive feelings, what makes you feel creative, maybe some sort of creative endeavor at all, like even if it's just like doodling a little bit in a notebook, or writing a little bit, or whatever your hobby is too. Like I don't know, like if you're into Magic the Gathering at all, maybe building a deck or something, like whatever it is that makes you feel passionate or happy, or um, into that little bit of creative vibe. I think that can really help you kind of manage these feelings of frustration with other people. Just really pour into yourself at the end of the day. Like pour into yourself before you pour into other people. You don't need to pour into other people, but you can still hold space for people to be the best versions of themselves. I think that right there is kind of the key to healing this like people pleaser, care about everyone else, nurture kind of vibe. It's being able to pour into ourselves while holding space for others to be the best versions of themselves. And then in turn, us pouring into ourselves shows other people how to be the best version of themselves, and we can lead by example rather than by telling them what to do. That makes sense? I sure hope so. Okay, cool. That's very good. I'm very happy with this pile in particular. They've all been great, but I really feel like I got into a nice little flow there for a minute, so I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Let's end it off here with our crystal healing card. Now, these are cards that are all tied to a different crystal that you can use to do a little bit of healing. Um, and the healing here is just you can just kind of work with these crystals to maybe help with some of these energies. And yeah, so each of these are in alignment with one of the chakras in our chakra systems. Now, most of the time we talk about the normal 7 chakras: the crown, third eye, the throat, heart, solar, sacrum, and root chakra. But there's extra chakras in our body that's normally not super talked about because it gets a little bit more complicated. This one's with the sky chakra, which is actually located above the crown chakra. But that's supposed to be the chakra that like connects us to the universe. And then there's also the earth chakra, which connects us to the earth. But here, so this crystal is in alignment with the sky chakra there. If you want to learn more about that, I suggest looking it up yourself. I don't have the most information about all the extra chakras in our system. I just kind of know about them in general. Um, so what you got here is the white coral, which is interesting. I mean, white coral is usually a dead coral, but maybe if you have any white coral around, you might want to work with it a little bit. This might help you out. We'll see. So it says it's a stabilizing crystal. And then the physical qualities is skeletal composition of an ocean organism strengthens the skeletal system of the body, brings strength to muscles, tendons, ligaments, synovial tissue, and cardiac muscle, alleviates colds, helps clear excess mucus from infection. Interesting. Um, the emotional qualities are mentally and emotionally calming, brings emotional and mental flexibility, grounds spiritual energies into the emotional body, balances elements of earth, water, and sky in the mind and one's emotions, attracts positivity, brings stability and confidence. And I think this is a great confirmation for the magician card in general, because we're kind of working with all of those different elements here. Kind of grounding the spiritual energies into the emotional body. Like this is just I'm seeing so many confirmations for this message. So I really hope you're getting something from this. I'm getting something from this at least. So I hope you are too. Um, And we got, see, it attracts positivity, brings stability and confidence. Very cool stuff. So, yeah, if you have any white coral, I feel like this is maybe a little bit more of a common thing that most people might have picked up throughout their travels around, especially if you've been to like Hawaii or on like a tropical cruise or something. This can often be just a trinket that people will end up buying for other people. So, you might have even gotten one of these as a gift. In fact, I know of some that I've gotten as a gift just randomly throughout my life before I ever got into any sort of spiritual stuff ever. So this kind of it's cool stuff. So there's also a little affirmation here that you can repeat to yourself if you'd like. If you don't have this, you can just repeat, I am flexible, agile, and graceful, which I think very much applies to what we've been talking about. Because when you're in this energy of like holding space for other people, but also needing to pour into ourselves, there's a big need for flexibility and agility and just to try to be graceful in that. I mean, we also have to give ourselves grace in this whole experience here of trying to hold space for other people in that way. Because, I mean, if you're like me, you're probably pretty passionate about helping other people out and wanting other people to be the best versions of themselves. So, um, allowing ourselves to be flexible and agile in these scenarios is probably going to help out a lot for that. So, that's a great affirmation for that. Excuse me. Bird confirmation. Let's get into the. I wanna read from the booklet here because these give us a little bit of a healing that we can actually do to sit with this crystal and do. So if you do have any white coral at all, you can try and work with this healing here. Even if you don't, though, there is still a bit of a visualization meditation trick here that you can use as well. So what this says is releasing blocked energy. Surround your body with white coral. Place 6 to 12 inches away from the body and evenly spaced apart. For best results, use at least 6 pieces of coral. Place a green calcite in or other light green crystal in your heart on your heart chakra. If the crystal has a termination, face the point upward. Place an amethyst on top of your crown chakra. Place a smoky quartz crystal beneath, but touching your feet, and point its termination toward the earth. Hold white coral in each hand. Now, this is where, if you don't have these crystals, you can just do this visualization or meditation thing to try and still gain some benefits from this type of healing. So you can breathe slowly, relaxing your body. With each exhale, imagine any negativity leaving your body through the bottoms of your feet into the earth, where it is transmuted into positivity. With each inhale, imagine drawing the energy from the white coral into your body. So you can kind of just imagine there's white coral there if you want, or just kind of imagine that type of energy coming in. Um, Once you feel relaxed, notice any area of your physical body that feels energetically blocked or where you have disease or illness. With every inhale, gather the white coral energy and send it toward the blocked area on the exhale. Scan your body and repeat this process until all blockages are cleared. Now, notice your emotions and thoughts. If you have any reoccurring negative thoughts, emotions, or judgments of yourself, send the coral energy to clear them, allowing them to flow into the ether. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, you could probably imagine this like white energy, and if you don't actually have this coral with you, you could just imagine a white energy with the intention of it being this coral energy moving through your body, helping remove these blocks. And this might help you like really stay flexible, agile, and graceful. Yeah, cool. What a cool reading this was. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you so much. If you got something out of this, and you want to show your appreciation, you can leave a like down below. I'd love to see it. And if you wanted to tell me what resonated and what didn't, you can leave that down in the below. Even if you want to give some words of encouragement to anybody else on this journey as well, share where you're at, what makes sense, what doesn't, whatever. Just leave that that down below in the comments. And if you want to join me for this tarot journey that I'm going on here, you can leave a subscribe and turn that notification bell on to be notified of any future uploads. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Yeah, love you so much. Thank you. Bye.